All right, hello YouTube. This is another battle report from Night Stabber. This time we're going against the Vampire Covenant, and it's another battle report between me and my friend here. Well, we've been playing wargaming since since third edition Warhammer 40K, so and seventh edition Fantasy. So we've been playing wargaming for a long time. I'm not going to say fantasy for a long time, but definitely wargaming for a long time. So here's the deployment. I have a unit of warriors straddling two warrior units straddling the crusher bus. Wrath priest inside of the unit with chaos lord with the blazing sword of chaos. Beside that, we have a unit of four dragon ogre centaurs, or they're dragon centaurs. They are using great weapons, so they're strength 7, 16 wounds. And on the other side of this, that building over there, we had a unit of Knights of Change. And on the far left side, since he doesn't have any shooting, I put the war shrine up as a flank protector, or at least a speed bump. Beside the war shrine is a unit of fallen, and behind the fallen is a character on a disc with change, a lance. He also has a 1-up armor save, and I forget what else he had. You can see exactly what he had in the description below. So I choose to get the first turn, so I go forward like this. Yeah, I just want to cup this entire army. Over across from me, you have a unit of, looks like those Hex Wraiths or whatever they're called. Kind of dangerous unit. They don't allow armor saves. They got great weapons. They're pretty strong. And over there, he has a knight unit with a vampire in it. It's a blood knight unit, or I think they're called vampire knights now. A unit of skeletons, about 40 of them looks like. Yeah. So I'm going to send my warriors up to try to deal with the skeletons, and also to deal with the. He has a unit of zombies or ghouls. Yeah, ghouls. Toughness 5, poison attacks. So they can be pretty nasty in large numbers. I think he has around 30 of them, if I'm not mistaken. He ends up, in his turn, he ends up charging the warriors with the skeletons. I'm fine with that. My Wrath Priest actually charged out of the unit, tried to hit the unit over here behind the building over here. He had another Hex Wraith unit, and he fails to actually make to connect with that. And the guy on the disc actually was able to charge that unit on the flank. He was not expecting that, and had him waiting in ambush. And once that was over, once his turn was over, I was able to charge in. They actually put a wound on the guy on the disc. The guy on the disc did not return as much wounds as I thought he would, but he was able to stick. In my turn, I actually charged the warriors into the flank of the large skeleton unit, and the warriors are still alive, so they're doing a lot of attacks over there. I moved the knight unit over here to the flank of his knight unit, so if he decides he wants to charge in to help or move forward, I got him in all different directions, so he's not going to be dealing just with the dragon ogres. In his turn, he decides to charge the warrior unit after they were finished with the skeletons. I'm okay with that. I should do some damage to his vampire unit, his vampire knights. Some damage, a little bit, but it should be enough to actually do enough to cripple the unit, because I'm probably going to end up killing that unit. Yeah, either killing that unit. I think it might. I don't know. I want to kill that unit. There's a lot of points in those units. I think around 700 points or so. He was able to kill my war shrine and move around the flank here. A lot of these pictures are are not like sequential, because I missed some of the shots, because it was really just a fun game that we just decided to play, and I really didn't have enough time to really think about what I was taking pictures of. So I just decided to take a picture. But anyway, they ended up beating the warriors, and the warriors broke and only rolled a 2 to get away. And he ended up running out 7 and going past the crushers, and his skeletons his ghouls only running about 4. So somebody's going to be able to hit the flank of that unit. Yep. And here's another view where, his knights got away. Yeah, my knights are kind of left out there in the air, flapping out there in the breeze, not doing anything. But that's good because they're not dying either. But the guy on the disc is over there. He actually is able to see the flank of that large ghoul unit. And my crushers are kind of out of place. He was able to put a spell that drops my weapon skill by 1 permanently in his turn. So their weapon skill is now 4, but they're still hitting on 3s for the most part. So I'm not really worried about that. Again, it's pretty much everybody. So yeah. I mean, when he drops it down 1 more, that's when I'm going to be kind of scared. But in my turn, I was able to charge in the guy on the disc into the flank of the ghouls. He was thinking that I should be afraid to go into the ghouls, but you know, I got a 1-up armor save and I got one reroll, so I should be able to survive. You know, 4 attacks for some ghouls at strength 4. I think there might be strength 3. I should be able to survive that. You know, as long as I don't roll a 1, I should be okay. And it locks that unit down, so that unit can't go anywhere or put me into a position where I have to charge or whatever. So he ends up facing the other side over here. In my turn, I was able to actually charge the flank of those ghouls, I believe. And the crushers turned around, the knights turned around, and the dragon ogres turned around. Yeah, like I said, some of these pictures are going to be out of place. Just bear with me. All right, so he ends up rolling a good roll on his reface, and he faces the guy on the disc. And here's another look at his knights coming around to face off against the crushers and the dragon ogres and the knights. It really doesn't look good for him because, you know, no matter what he does, if he goes up against the crushers, he's going to bounce off of them. It's going to be he's going to rubber lance them, and then they're going to return and kill them. Or if he goes against the knights, they may hold him up, so the crushers can hit him anyway. So and the dragon ogres, there's so many wounds there that his vampire knights won't be able to roll badly, and if they do roll badly, that's going to be the end of them. So he was able, in the last turn, he was able to charge, well, this is the bottom of the 5th actually. He was able to charge the guy on the disc because the guy on the disc was just that resilient. He was not taking any wounds. And the crusher guy is on his flank still. So I think it's a bad move because if I do well against if the priest does well against the ghouls, then combat resolution is going to go in my favor and actually kill the vampire without actually having to do any work. The vampire is more certainly probably going to kill the guy on the disc, but the guy on the disc is on borrowed time anyway. He only has 1 wound left, and sure enough, in the challenge, because I have to challenge, he kills him. But in my turn, I was able to charge the rear of the ghouls there. So when I attack, I'm going to clear that ghoul unit out. It's going to pop, and it's not going to pop the vampire because he killed him in the initiative step, and so I was just 1 step too late. But then I'm going to overrun into the vampire, and I'm going to end up having the challenge in his turn, which is bottom of 6. Yep. And my guy has the flaming sword, and he has a 3-up ward save. He got a spell off that gives him a 3-up ward save. There it is. And he got re-rolled a hit in close combat. So yeah. So he's trying to stack the dice in his favor, except I think there's no way he's gonna win this, because even if he does kill the Chaos Lord, I'm still gonna have 2 combat res on him and he's still gonna lose. But that's not what happened. He ended up wounding the Chaos Lord 1 time, and I ended up hitting him once, wounding him once, and he failed his 3-up ward save on a 2. That shows you that a 3-up ward save is not necessarily overpowered. It's just because anybody can fail. Anybody can roll a 1 or a 2. So the chances of rolling a 1 are the same as chances of rolling a 6. So, you know, the guy died, and it ended up being a slaughter for me because when his lord died, that was 900 extra points in addition to what I already killed. So ended up being a pretty good win for me. I think it was like a 17-3 for me, in my favor. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle report. yeah, I enjoy playing against this guy from time to time. He's trying to get ready for the a tournament, up and coming tournament in July, and it's coming. You know, it's coming soon. Enjoy.